and welcome to Strength Based Marketing. I'm Pat Dewar. I have a friend that I have known for a long time, like 15, 16 years on today. And Cassandra Bradford is one of those people that first time I met her, I was like, I like you. And then the more that I've run into her and worked with her and interacted with her, you know, I ask her, what do you feel like you really do? And she goes, I create opportunities for my clients. And I went, oh my gosh, you do. And the things that the people that she knows and the I would like to say master connector that you are. It's like, have you ever met that person? And if you haven't, you're about to met that person that when you meet them, it seems like they know the right people in almost any other area that you're wanting to connect to. And she knows it like, oh yeah, and it's right there on her speed dial, you know, in her contacts because she knows them and she knows them well enough. She'd call them, say, hey, Bob, so good to see you, hear you. Hey, I want to introduce you to somebody. And the door flies wide open. So Cassandra, it's an honor to have you on my show. Thank you so very much. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I am happy to be here. It's good to see you, Pat.
It is good to see you. It's good to be seen too, which is, this way is the new normal. I don't care what they say about, oh yeah, vaccine. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be the new normal for a while.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna be hugging and handshaking for a while. But with that in mind, I imagine things have shifted a bit,
Yes.
and I really wanted my audience to meet you and get to know, kind of the who you are and how do you get there? How do you create where you're at today?
Well, my very first company was a biomechanical engineering firm. We did litigation management and we found other tort feasors from auto accidents. I know. And that was the very first company I started. And I got a call to come to Dallas on the Neiman Marcus case. And for 2 years, back and forth, we helped them settle a case that they reserved at $5 million. I'm like, you only owe about 8,000. And they asked if we were a certified minority or a certified woman-owned business because they had a large contract, a $4 million contract that was coming up, and they would love for us to bid. I knew nothing about it. So I did what everybody else would do. You call your mom, right? My mother used to work for HUD. And my mother got my dad certified as a veteran-owned business, and he won a 10-year contract to put the roof on every Kentucky Fried Chicken in the Midwest.
Nice.
Yeah. And so we did. We went, flew back. I was living in California then, and we got certified. And the bid came up, and we bid, and we won. And it said we had to be a Texas resident. I didn't read that part. I didn't. And sure enough, we packed up almost like the Beverly Hillbillies. We packed up and we moved to Texas, and good because the bottom was about to drop out in 05, 06, the real estate market. So we did good. So we moved to Texas, and after that contract ended or before, I'm like, I wanted to know more about this program. I wanted to tell everybody I knew. My dad, my brothers are all veterans, cousins. And so I flew to Washington, D.C., and we got licensed to teach it in over 40 states. And so the rest has been history. So I
I wouldn't
absolutely
doubt.
love what we do.
So what are some of the things you're doing during this COVID-19 ishness? Not to date this too much, but this is a podcast. So what are you doing to really help your clients? Can you still get the government contracts during this time period? I mean, what are you what are you doing?
So contracting never stopped because it was always in the budget. So what we did was we pivot right during the shelter in, and we went after general contractors because none of that budget stopped, and our business tripled, almost quadrupled. And we had to, extend our office space and get bigger space and hire more people. During a pandemic was hard trying to. People were like, I'm not working. We're like, please, please help us. And we work with contractors all over the not just Texas but the United States to find them contracts. And even now we're working a lot with 18 wheelers, truckers, because everything is being delivered, whether it's aggregate or freight. So now we're in this new space with new family of truck drivers, and I'm telling you, we're learning a lot. And again, we're growing again. I put a post out just yesterday. We're hiring 2 people. I don't know where we're going to put them. So we pivot, and that's what we do, Pat, as entrepreneurs. When there's a problem, we started a business, right? Because we had a better way of doing it. We had a gizmo that would work. We started a business because there was a problem. Well, guess what? There's a problem in the world, and it's this pandemic. And this is when we're supposed to ask for witty ideas. And what could I do to add on services or get my services white labeled by somebody else, or teams. Oh my God, I teach a lot on teaming agreements. How do I team with a company that's larger than mine just to get a little small piece of the contract? So yeah, that's what we do. And it's amazing.
That's so exciting that your business tripled during this time period. And I wonder, where do you see the next, say, 6 months going, and what are you staging and setting up, and who are you reaching out to? Because I know one of the big mistakes that a business owner does is all of a sudden, when this influx of business happens from the things, that the seed that they planted, it's harvest time and there's nothing else but do and get it done. But if you do that, and you don't plant new seeds, you're not going to have next year's harvest. So
Mhm.
what are you doing?
So we went after general contractors starting in March of 2020. And even for the next quarter, because we're in the fiscal new year, federal. So those contracts are hot and heavy because every city is changing all their sidewalks to make sure they're ADA compliant, right? American Disability Act. So that's ongoing. So if you know concrete, asphalt, you're working all year round, even in the rain and the cold. But trucking, transportation, Pat, everything now is being delivered. You're not going into the furniture store anymore. You're going to order it online. Washers and dryers, anything you can think of right now is being delivered. So if you have a 21-foot box truck all the way to an 18-wheeler, there is a lot of business right now. It's overloaded. If you know dispatch, even dispatching, freight brokers, it is hot. So we pivoted. This is a whole new family for us. This whole trucking community is a tight-knit family. They love each other, and we're trying to feel the love. And we have infiltrated, hopefully, right? I sent out a bunch of kisses. And we are in this space, and it's a new space for us, but we know how important our drivers are, right? We need to keep them safe on the road, but for them to get their own authority, just about everybody, the United States Postal Service, right? FedEx, Amazon, Pepsi. Oh my God, there's so many contracts out for if you are in trucking or transportation. It is unbelievable. And so we're doing authorities. We're helping them get their certifications. We're helping making sure they're having their cargo insurance. So we've teamed with a couple of insurance agents, right? And then we have a CPA, a couple of CPAs that we work with to make sure that those CPAs specializes in taxes filings for truckers because they pay more taxes than anybody I've ever seen. So we want to make sure that they're paying the right amount of tax and not be overtaxed. All right. So that's what we're doing.
So I wonder, moving forward as we go into 2021, and I'm just believing that you just can't keep the nation down that long. There's too much energy that people want to get active. They want to be able to do what they can do. And I would imagine that there are a lot of industries that need to reach out to you because there there is so much that's available in that area. And I just curious, you know who would you invite and welcome that person in, that company in, to not only work with you but to actually begin to help them really meet the right people or make the right connections to get the certifications. Who do you who are you really wanting to get a hold of?
So if
I
Yeah,
call it an ideal client, but
if you were born a minority, that's Black, African American, Hispanic, Asian, Pan Asian, Indian, or American Indian, that's you, and you own a business and you own at least 51% of that business. Doesn't matter which state you're in, the criteria is the same. So, and you operate that business at least 51% of the time. If you are a veteran with a DD 214, the first 12% of any contract, whether it's from the government or Fortune 500 companies like AT&T, Walmart, I can keep going. The first 12% must be given to certified veteran owned business.
I
Or
didn't know.
whenever federal dollars on a project. Yeah. So we work a lot with veterans because people, if you want to, I tell you, if you want to team with anybody or partner, you always team or partner with a vet because they get access to more capital. They get access to more contracts. As a matter of fact, in every state, they do contract matching for certified veteran-owned businesses. So you don't even have to go look for business. 6 times a year, they sit across the table like Toyota and GM and 7-Eleven. You guys know I love 7-Eleven because they're my sponsors. What kind of contract do you want? You tell us what you want and we'll give it to you. Because they have to meet a participation requirement by the federal government, right? So they have to do that. And so they have tattletale people like me who will tell if you don't. So we're working a lot with Bell Helicopter and all the colleges and universities. I'd say 7-Eleven. I could keep Bell Helicopter. I can keep going. Toyota is great. BNSF, anything Warren Buffett owns. So if you think, well, I don't know about doing business with the government. I love doing business with the government, Pat. Why? Because they can pay my invoice. They're not running out of money.
That's one of the things a lot of people
like a client.
You invoice them, they pay you. It's amazing.
They pay you. They have laws in place to say when they have to pay you by. Right. So I love it. So there's nothing that the government is selling or is buying that you can't sell to them. I mean, they're looking for ICE. NASCAR, ICE? Any race car track, right? Racing is the longest sport. Tailgate starts on Tuesday, Pat. What do you run out of? Ice. You can't drink hot beer. Tailgating is the longest tailgate in auto racing. So ice.
But why would I mean, I'm sitting there going,
oh, it's not government. Don't
just it's the race. Race
car track. They look because they have to. Their tailgate. If you go to any race car track, you know where you live.
Yeah.
What's on the other side of the freeway? It's open space, right? It's for all the tailgaters, the mobile homes, right? The RVs. They need ice, right? Another good one that you didn't think the government is looking for is tow separators.
What?
They teach cosmetology in federal prison.
Toe separators, that kind of thing.
Yes.
You gotta remember, you're talking to a guy. I don't do much.
They buy a lot of toe separators. Why? They teach cosmetology in federal prison, right? Bureau of Prison, that's a good one. If they buy books, you're an author, you wrote a self-help book and you have a course, or you wrote one on a trade to teach a trade, right? Bureau of Prison, Job Corps, and your unemployment office.
Wow. I mean, it sounds like somebody visiting with you, it almost it's kind of like, here's a 9,000 foot smorgasbord. Go find something that you want to eat and have a good time.
I love it because we help. I do think tanks. Normally it's January through April all over the country, and this is what we help you to do. Think of 4 streams of income, not changing anything that you do. So if you're in cosmetology, I'm not going to tell you to start now selling cheese. No, let's think of 4 ways that you can produce revenue for that one business. So yeah, cosmetology, I mean, there's a lot. If you can teach it as a trade, how to run a successful, let's say cosmetology business, I don't know, they'll buy it. Any prison, prison is big business, especially in Texas. You have private prisons and you have public or county. Okay, so they'll buy it.
What I'm hearing is that what I need to do is give a part of my business to my son that served 3 years in infantry airborne, and 51% of it to my wife, and I'd be eligible.
Well, whoever owns the 51%, so if it's the veteran, he must own 51%.
Well,
If
I'm
it's
just saying
your
you get a
wife, yeah.
part, and then my wife has the what. I guess I should give it to my son, but my wife probably wouldn't like that because it's kind of. Anywho, I'm just,
So yeah, I mean,
I'm just trying to get people to realize. I hope that your head has exploded. There's this purple smoke thing going on, because I mean, Cassandra's telling you, look, there's a feast over here, and a lot of people can come eat if they just know how to walk through the maze. And I imagine, Cassandra, you lead them through the
yeah.
maze.
So the first thing you have to do is get certified, and we'll do the paperwork for you. The next thing it's about how you go after contracts. And then there's so many different ways you can go after contracts. I mean, there are contracts out there you don't even have to bid on. You can walk in and ask for them. So, Pat, when you met me, I was doing a little workshop at the library. It was called Business Basics 101. Do you know I still do that workshop? But now
Really?
I do that same exact workshop. It doesn't even change. It's probably the same PowerPoint slide. I have a contract with over, now it's 27 different libraries and adult education services, not just in Texas, but all over the United States. It's the exact same PowerPoint, but they'll pay me to do like 8 workshops, and they'll pay me, and then I get to eat what I kill, right? So they pay me a fee, and then they market it. Isn't it amazing? And I said, well, if they'll do that here in Texas, I think they'll do that in another state, because I'm helping them generate tax revenue. And they bought it. And so, but think about it. We're in North Texas. We live in North Texas, you and I. There are 362 cities in North Texas. Yeah. I used to be president of a North Texas chamber. So 362 cities. So anything under $25,000 does not have to be bidded out. So I can walk into 362 cities and tell them I want to do a business basics 101 workshop. I'm going to teach the basics of business, get people to open business, generate tax revenue. You should give me a contract. Give me the $25,000. I'll do 10 of them, whatever. Let me eat what I can kill on the back end. If I went to 362 cities, that's over $9 million.
And that's just in Texas.
Well, you can go anywhere. Think about, I'm just
But
giving
I'm
you
just
that
in there.
example.
That's amazing.
But I didn't
I've
bid
done.
against anybody, did I? I just asked for it. Didn't so let's say I want to go and haul. Well, this is a good one. Between Bank of America, they right now they have a contract for someone to transport their sensitive data. You know, your withdrawal slips, your deposit slips. You know, they don't throw that away. They take it to one location, right? So what if you went into every Bank of America? How many are just in Dallas? To transport all of those sensitive documents to one location in Dallas.
All day long, twice on
Oh,
Sunday.
right. So they, Bank of America, since I said them, they also participate. Walmart participates. They use owner operators to haul. They also right now, because of what's happening in America with systemic racism, if you've written a book or if you've been trying to get to the buyers and you can't now you can probably sell your stuff in Walmart. So just not like going on CVC or CV, on whatever the shopping channels on television. Now you can go directly to the buyer, but you just have to be able to supply all the units that they demand. So then if you say, hey, I'm also a certified woman-owned business, that gets you to the door because they have to meet a 40% participation requirement. I'm helping you to meet your participation requirement. Here's my certification. Let me give it to you in my capability statement. So we need to think outside the box.
That's okay. So where can people learn more about not only what you're doing, how you're doing it, and uh and hire you?
So they can go to iamdrcass.com, IAMDRCASS. That's the easiest way. It'll take you straight to our website. My company's name is Genesis Preferred Solutions, but some people don't know how to spell Genesis. Preferred could be tricky. So I am drkaz.com. It'll take you straight to our site. Our phone number is 800-718-2425. And we've been in business for 20 years, Pat.
I believe. That's exciting. And just in case you hadn't noticed it, it's right next to her name where
Yes.
it's Cassandra Bradford. I am drkaz.com. So awesome, folks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Cassandra, it's always a pleasure.
Yeah.
When I met you years ago, I was creating all these networking groups. I had like 11, a couple of mastermind groups and doing a radio and TV show and stuff. And I just went, I don't hold a candle with this lady. She's got it going on. She's got the right stuff, the right message for the right people. And I'm so excited about your success. And I
Thank
wish
you.
you all of it that you can handle and more, that it
Thank
just
you.
piles up and stacks up and it all. And
Mhm.
folks, I would just say, get a hold of Dr. Cassandra Bradford. She can help you get an introduction and probably be able to do a service and send an invoice to the government. And,
Yeah.
they kind of pay their bills to you and I. So,
They pay their bills.
yeah, thank you so much again. Folks, this is Pat Dewar. We're on strength-based marketing, always talking about getting people's purpose, their passion, their profession aligned so that you can create what you love to do and do it, and then send an invoice. And Cassandra will help you get it to the government. So, with that, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you for having me.
It's always good.
All right.